This is number 5 now. Can you believe it? I've decided to do a video standing up because when I'm sitting on the settee or sofa, whatever you want to call it, I look fat. This here is a gaiter, which I've mentioned many times before. I'll stand sideways. As you can see, I'm not thin. That's the bad arm. There. That's as much as you're going to say. So I'm not obese. I'm a little bit overweight. But that often happens when you're my age and you're female, and men as well. They tend to put on a lot of tummy fat as they get older, but not all men. It's hereditary, by the way. It's very difficult, I've heard, to lose tummy fat. Yeah, and if you're a woman and you lose weight, they say it mainly comes off the face. Wait. Yeah, from the face and the boobies. But fortunately, I've lost weight from my face, which I'm pleased about, and my boobies are still fine. In fact, they're my best feature. I'm not going to show you them because YouTube would not let me. Yeah, I was going to talk today. The other subjects were a mixture. One was where I was talking about religion. That was awful. Not that I'm religious anymore. Another one, well, the others were my relationship with my partner, which is boring. And not only that, I don't think it's fair to talk about him because he's not here to defend himself or give his side of the story. So that's not professional. So I'm going to be professional and find a subject that I know a lot about, and that is me and my body. Alright, I've got 5, I think it's 5 mental health disorders. I've got borderline personality disorder, which is the most common personality disorder. It's apparently more common in women, but there is some debate about that. And apparently it's not curable, and medication doesn't help. But it can help with things like anxiety and depression that most people with borderline personality disorder get as well. Okay, therapy can help. Mindfulness is very good for people with borderline personality disorder, and general awareness of how they treat others and look at their self-image as well. Try and get a better self-image. Try to like yourself. Yeah, because we often do not like ourselves, or we don't really know who we are. I still don't really know who I am. And I'm thinking maybe most people don't really know who they are, because we're quite complex. I think each of us human beings are quite complex. You know, we're not the same all the time. It depends who we are with, where we are, what we're doing, what's happening in our lives, etc. Many factors. I'm sounding like a professional, but I'm not. It's just that I've lived a long time. Well, quite long. I'm hoping to live till my 80s, but I've got a feeling I probably won't. I'll probably die in my 60s due to my smoking. and I have to accept that. Or I can do something about it and try not to smoke, but I'm finding it really difficult. It's a real addiction now. Really, really, really bad addiction. I hope you don't mind me smoking in the video. Yeah, I get anxious a lot. Yeah, and that's why I smoke. And being on my own a lot, it doesn't help. So, but when there's someone here, not so much my partner, because he makes me feel anxious anyway. He always looks like he's angry with me, like when he comes in through the door. And sometimes I forget to do something and he tells me off. Like he's like a grandfather figure. Like a strict grandfather. A Victorian dad. Yeah, Victorian dad. He's meant to be my partner. So I said I want to talk about him. I've mentioned him before, and I think you've got a rough idea of what he might be like. But he can be nice as well. If I'm really nice to him, like grovelling, giving him lots of compliments, then he's nice to me. So I always say, well, you look handsome today, or I like that top you're wearing, the colour really suits you, things like that. So I'm hoping for a compliment back, but I never get one. If I was to walk, it's like I'm invisible to him almost. I thought if I took all my clothes off, every stitch, even my pants and bra, well, I'm not wearing one. If I took my pants off and I was completely stark naked and walking around the house naked, he wouldn't notice. He wouldn't notice that I didn't have any clothes on. I'm going to try that actually. I'll make sure all the blinds and curtains are shut first. And he'll come home and see my naked figure. No, he won't see it. Sorry, he won't see it. The ageing body of a 58-year-old woman. Yeah. Am I actually middle-aged or elderly? I'm not sure. But I think when you reach a certain age, and I think it might be my age concern can help you with a lot of things, so that's good to know. So if I need any help with something, they might help me. I wonder if they do the decorating for me, because he won't. He does things on a whim, but he doesn't do them. It might take 10 years, and then all of a sudden he'll get an urge to do something, and then he'll do it. But the Christmas decorations are still in the house and not in the attic. Do you know what? I'm going to put them up. I'm going to put all the Christmas decorations up. We didn't have a tree. We've got no room for a tree. Just a little tree, little trees. I'm going to put all the Christmas decorations up tomorrow. So, and then leave them there for years. Yeah, good idea. I mean, women and men age differently, don't they? Obviously. I haven't really studied the body of an aging man, really an old man. I know what a 61-year-old man looks like, and that's not a lot. There's not a big difference between a 61-year-old man and a 40-year-old man, I think. There's not a lot of difference. I suppose it depends on weight as well. I mean, if you're fat and you lose a lot of weight, it just gets all sort of very saggy, doesn't it? Yeah. But he's been more or less the same weight for 20 years, I think. Something like that. But a lot of it's to do with alcohol, in his case. And he's got a massive tummy, which I've mentioned before. It's huge. But even when he doesn't drink, he's still got that tummy. And I'm always worried that he might get diabetes, but I'm worried about that myself as well. Because like him, I'm an apple shape. When I was young, I was like rectangular, and the rectangular shape goes into the apple shape as you get older, and you're more likely to get diabetes type 2. I've heard the keto diet's very good for your health and losing weight, to kickstart your health loss. Well, health loss, weight loss. But I'm not sure I could do it. And I think you need to talk to a doctor before starting any type of drastic diet. I basically eat all the wrong things, but I don't eat enough either. So I'm missing out on vital nutrients. So if I started to eat better, I'd probably look a lot better than what I look now. I didn't drink last night. I thought, he's not going to stop drinking while I'm drinking. Because he was buying me drink all the time, every night. Just one drink, not loads, just one drink. My favourite was soju, flavoured soju. 4.6 units, too much every night. And I reckon he's going to do that tonight. He's going to offer me a drink. He knew that I didn't have a drink yesterday. So he doesn't want to see me being... I don't think he will want me to be sober. Because then he can't say, oh, but you drink every night as well. But he started to buy me drinks, so quite a few months ago, when I only drank now and again, he started to buy me drink every night so that he could carry on with his drinking and I wouldn't complain. And I didn't. His drinking was a bit more serious then. Well, he was consuming more alcohol then, but he's reduced it in the last few months. He doesn't get drunk or anything. I think our tolerance has gone down, both of us. We can't get drunk now. Well, we don't need to get drunk, we don't want to drink, that's not why we drink. We drink just for it to relax us. And it wouldn't take me much to get drunk now, because my tolerance is gone. So something like 4.6 and I'm merry, basically. I'm not drunk, I'm merry. But in the old days I could drink like, loads of alcohol. Yeah, you often see like young women that are what you would call fat, but they're toned. And often they've got like a lovely hourglass figure and they look great. But as you get older, everything drops, basically. So when I was in my 20s, I only had small boobies, 20s and 30s. It was only when I put on weight that they got a bit bigger, bigger. So I wouldn't say they were massive, they're just average size. Fucking cat. You can't see him. If I don't keep my eyes on him, he's going to tap my legs. My video's been ruined now by a cat. Just looking at the smoke. He attacked me a few days ago, 2 days ago. Yeah, he walked next to my legs. I saw this fur next to my leg, looked down. I thought, oh no, I know what's going to happen. And he went for my leg. Oh, where's he going? carry on with the video. It's horrible living in fear of your cat, but I've got terrible balance, and what I'm worried about is falling on top of him and killing him. Sorry, I did swear. You know, I'm worried that when my friend comes around that he's going to attack her, because he doesn't seem to like women. So I'm getting a bit nervous. I told my sister about my cat, and she's always been a little bit frightened of cats. So now, I don't think she'll come over to my house. Anyway, I didn't want to talk about cats. I want to talk about ageing. The ageing process. As you get older, your veins become more prominent because you lose fat and muscle. So really, I should be working on building up my muscles. I've got physiotherapy when was it, next month, I think, yeah. I want them to help me with my balance and exercises to build up my muscles, because they're more or less wasted in some places, I think, anyway. And I have terrible cramps in my feet and legs, but that's probably smoking. So if I gave that up, I'd feel a lot better. Yeah, I've got COPD, asthma. Well, they don't think it's asthma, but if I've got a preventer and a reliever, that means you've got asthma, basically. And asthma, and I've got Hashimoto's thyroiditis. It's an autoimmune condition where your antibodies attack your thyroid, and I've got a goiter as well. That's the thyroid that's growing, and they call it a goiter. Nodules coming off the thyroid. It's still the same material as the thyroid gland, and I'm going to have it scanned soon. So I asked the doctor, I said I found out that your goiter can grow into your chest cavity, so that might be making my breathing problems worse. It's worth looking at all the avenues. Don't just blame smoking, because it might not all be to do with smoking, but my goal is to try and cut down. I don't think I'll ever be able to stop completely. I don't know. What other health problems have I got? I've got a prolapse. It's where my vagina has dropped, basically. So there's not a lot of room. It's sort of blocking everything a bit. I can still have sex though, but it's more uncomfortable. But we don't do it, so it doesn't matter. Just checking to see if the cat. Yep, there's not much I can do with vaginal prolapse. I can, if you are unfortunate and it actually drops out where it's visible, doctor or nurse can put it back up, but it'll probably keep falling out anyway, and you can learn to do it yourself, I think. That hasn't happened to me yet. I'm not saying it will happen, but pelvic floor exercises, even when you've got a prolapse, can really help. So I've got to do more pelvic floor exercises. What else? Yeah, because of that, I've got urge incontinence. When I cough, I sometimes wet myself, etc. I wet myself when I'm asleep, so I wear pads every day, 24 hours a day. That's not a problem. They're not expensive anymore. They used to be, when they first came out to the supermarkets, they were more or less unaffordable, and there was only one brand called Tenor, and that was really expensive. So I think a lot of women just use sanitary towels, but they're not good enough really for urinary incontinence. What else? I did have IBS, but that's improved since I've been on a medication called dihydrocodeine, which was given to me for pain for the frozen shoulders that I had in the last 2 years. Yeah. So that's helped with my IBS. That's an alternative to Imodium. If you've got IBS, you could ask your doctor for dihydrocodeine, but be aware of the fact that a lot of people get addicted to it. Other health problems, balance, but I don't really know what the balance is about. And also I get ocular or retinal migraines. Maybe I should see the optician, or maybe it's something to do with my actual brain, I don't know. But I'll have to do something about it at some point because they're becoming more regular. It's like, I don't get a headache, I just get patterns, scintillating diamond patterns. And it usually lasts about 40 minutes, something like that. Oh, I don't like it, it's horrible. I usually feel really tired before it happens. And then when it's gone, I feel really tired, and I usually have to have a sleep afterwards. I've made videos where I've been experiencing the ocular or retina, whatever, migraine. Right. So they're basically my physical health problems. They're not too bad. The Hashimoto's is well controlled with levothyroxine. The best thing I can do for my health is to stop smoking. I didn't drink last night, I don't know if I mentioned that, so maybe I can carry on with that, not drinking, or just drinking occasionally. Just try to be more active, but I'm not one who likes going out at the moment because I'm frightened I'm gonna because I have fallen over a few times because of my poor balance. I'm frightened of falling over in public and, really hurting myself. I mean, stepping off a pavement is difficult for me. Yeah, very difficult. Walking downstairs is a big problem. I can't get off a bus anymore, unfortunately. First it was the train, and now it's the bus. And I used to have arguments with the bus drivers to drive nearer to the pavement because there was no room for me to put my foot on that I step off with. I always step off with my right foot, which is my drop foot, unfortunately. And it would take me ages to get off the bus sometimes. And the last straw came when a young woman offered to help me off the bus. I felt really humiliated. I got fed up with the bus drivers. But I know now, because I used to be able to walk down the stairs all right, with just one hand on the banister, handrail. But now I have to hold on to the banister as well. So getting on off the bus is impossible for me. I'd fall. So I could go out and walk, but it's mainly main roads where I live. There is a park that I could walk in, go to and walk about in, but it's just trying to fit that into my routine, which is, I haven't really got a routine at the moment. It's it takes me ages to do anything, like get ready in the morning. It takes me ages, and it doesn't involve much, but it takes me ages. Then most of my day I think about YouTube videos that I might watch, or shall I make a YouTube video today? Shall I make my AI videos today? How many shall I make? I'm not thinking about anything else. That's the main thing that I think about is YouTube. And at night I like to watch YouTube videos, and I like to watch Netflix as well. But Netflix is a bit of a problem because there's not a lot of good stuff on there at the moment. I think it's going downhill. Alright, ageing. I think my mental health problems have improved since I got older, especially the last few years. 2 years, I'd say. I might be wrong. I've had some bad days, but overall they haven't lasted that long, and I just battle on and try and keep busy. I find it very difficult to read a book. I've lost interest in reading, but that's nothing to do with ageing, is it? Do I fall asleep during the day? No, only when I'm underactive with my thyroid. Yeah, I have to take tablets now to fall asleep, unfortunately. But poor sleep is a sign of getting older. You don't need so much sleep, and your sleep isn't like when you were, say, a teenager or when you were in your 20s. It's not as good, unfortunately. Are there any good things about ageing? I think there are. I can't think of them at the moment. I think people treat you better, I think. Oh, maybe not. They can take advantage of you, can't they? But a lot of people do respect older people, I think, but I think that's going a little bit in the world. I think younger people are showing less and less respect for older people, like it was in the past. So, I say to you, respect the elderly. Right, they may not be perfect people, but, you know, it's not, if you say reach 100, it's not by, you haven't done anything special to reach 100, you've just been lucky, or unlucky, if you've got Alzheimer's or whatever. But it's nothing to do with anything you've done, really. It's genetic, a lot of it, what age you'll live to. And you don't need any special skills to reach 100. And all this stuff about do this and do that, diets, etc., to make you live longer, no, don't waste your time. I say what you should do is you should do things you enjoy. But with, obviously, in moderation. I mean, if you like cakes, eat them, but don't eat too many. And try and have a varied diet. I mean, this is information that I'm giving, this is advice I'm giving myself as well. So, everything in moderation. Don't deny yourself anything. If possible, if you've got a partner, try to keep intimacy going. Doesn't have to be sex, just be cuddles, laughing, joking, holding hands, that sort of thing. That's what I'd like with my partner, but he's frightened of intimacy, I think. Some men are, unfortunately. So that's my story of ageing. I quite enjoy it, actually, and I quite like the changes. I think my face is probably better now than when I was in my 20s. But I've got my webcam on. Yeah, that hides a lot of things. Like my skin's blotchy, but it's been like that since I was 16. And yeah, I think there are some benefits to getting older. Keep positive, try and laugh every day. Laughter is the best medicine, that's what I think. Just try and laugh, and try not to feel sorry for yourself, because there's people that are in a lot worse. There will be people that are in a much worse situation than yourself. And maybe do something charitable. If you can't go out to do it, maybe if you've got a bit of money, support charity. Phone a friend, you know. Try not to isolate yourself unless you like being isolated, that is, because some people like being alone. It's up to the individual. Live your life the way you think you should live it, and don't worry about what other people say. Like, they say, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Just say, yeah, just agree with them, but you don't have to take their advice. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Yeah. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's what I say. Bye.